Today on the Weekend Handyman, we are working on this 1999 Jeep Cherokee. What we're doing is changing out these motor mounts. We have some nice brown dog off-road door mounts. These are the Ultra Flex bushings, not the polyurethane ones. So far we have done a little bit of work. We have the airbox removed, which is 13mm bolts. We also have some parts loosened up over here. This bolt right here is already loosened up. This is a 13 bolt. The big through bolt that goes through the engine mount to the motor mount is an 18, which is already loosened up as well. Then there's another bolt on the bottom side of the motor mount, which is a 15. That is loose as well. This is the hardware that comes with your motor mounts. You'll use one bolt, a washer, and one nut on one side. The other side you only use a nut and a washer. The motor mounts are also labeled, like this side is the passenger side, the other side is labeled driver. Fairly self-explanatory. As per the instructions, you want to start with the driver's side, that way it lines the engine up correctly. Our sketchy way of jacking up the motor is with the jack on the edge of the oil pan. The first step after having everything removed, like you see, and maybe brushing off the dust and stuff, is to slip the new motor mount into the old motor mount's location. This can be kind of tricky, sometimes they get kind of tight. This one goes in there nicely. And after that, you just gotta take your through bolt and try and slip it through. I might have to move it around and jiggle it, but eventually it'll go in. Alright, with the motor mount in place and the through bolt through nice and loose, as per the instructions, I put a little bit of red thread locker on this bolt, and it's going to go down into its hole. Now, in order to tighten it all the way, we're going to have to drop the motor back down, and then we'll be able to tighten it up to 40 foot-pounds, which is what the instructions call for. We lowered the engine back down a little bit, so we tightened up that bolt just a hair, and now we're putting in the bolt on the bottom. The next step is to tighten this through bolt, which, as per the instructions, has really no torque sprecs. It just sort of snug it up real tight, and then just sort of find the sweet spot for any increased vibrations and whatnot. You might have to loosen it, you might have to tighten it in another quarter turn or something. You should probably jack the engine from as closest to the motor mount as possible. The way we had to do it was with a long 2x4 and to the actual motor mount bracket that goes into the engine block itself. Alright. On this side, we have all the bolts for the motor mount loosened. The through bolt is loosened and out. The motor is also jacked out. So we should be able to just slip the motor mount out from the engine and the unibody frame. This one is in a lot better shape than the other side. Alright, this side was a little tighter to get in, so we need this special tool to hit the motor mount down into where it goes. Alright, I think that's all good. Alright, so we have successfully put both motor mounts in. All the bolts are tight to the correct torque specs. We have the airbox back in, all attached. The only thing left to do is start her up and go for a quick test drive to see how she feels. And look for vibes. Since these are a more high-performance motor mount, you're probably going to get some more vibes through it, so you might need to make a few adjustments.